It's Tall Tale Tuesday, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how I once shot myself in the leg. No, that's no bullshit. That actually happened one time. But there's a little bit more to the story than just that, so stick around. Hey, Ashton's here already. Good to see you, man. Let me give a shout out to my man, Ashton Dillon, all the way up there in Barnum, Iowa, the Junkyard Bar and Grill. What a fucking fun night that was last Saturday, huh, dude? Would you agree, man? Good grief. I came up there. I had some of my tried and true material that I was throwing down because it was almost like a completely new audience since the last time I was there. But holy moly, what a fun group that was. They gave me so much new stuff to just be able to riff off of that I think I rolled out of there with more material than I came with. So I just once again, I want to thank you, buddy, for having me out there last Saturday night at the Junkyard Bar and Grill, Barnum, Iowa. It's just outside of Fort Dodge. Real cool little junkyard themed destination joint. And I think if you go out there, you're going to have a great time. I don't know if they're doing jam tonight or not, but they've got one of the best open jam t-shirts I've seen in a long time. So any of my Central Iowa fans or friends or followers or whatever you consider yourself on Facebook with me, do yourself a favor. Grab some friends or grab a date and head on over to the Junkyard Bar and Grill for their open jam. I think they're doing it tonight. I'm not sure. It used to be every Tuesday. Then they took a break from it for a little while over the summer, but I think they're bringing it back. I don't know if that's this week or next month, but I need to find that out before I start plugging shit, I guess. In any case, hey, look at all the people joining in. Trish is here and Sherlon. Hey, John Donovan, what's up, dude? I'm going to tell everybody about the time I shot myself in the leg up there at Six Flags, New Jersey. Lisa, Jennifer, Bud the Maurici, Skylar Russell's here. What a fun night that was a couple weeks ago at Sublime concert, huh, dude? Holy shit. Did I have a blast? And that's about all I'm going to say right then and there before I incriminate myself. Otherwise, this week coming up this Friday night, I'm headed all the way to Green River, Wyoming for a show at the Eagles Club. I will be at the Boss Comedy Club in Sioux Falls this Saturday night. So those are the show dates. If you're in the area, I don't have a whole lot of Wyoming people. That's a big, expansive state. So I'm hoping to pick up some more friends from Wyoming that will be checking out the 420 report that I throw down every day. My daily live video blog, 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. And also, dude, if you want, let me turn this up a little bit. There we go. All right. Now listen, I got it all set up again. So if you want to call in and talk to me live and have a phone conversation with me and put it on the 420 report, you can do that. And here's the number. It's in the video description above. But if you go to 515-604-9625 and you put in the code 229911 hashtag, you got to do the hashtag or pound sign in order to get through. That's the secret number. That's the secret code. And you can call me and talk to me one-on-one right now here for at least the next 15 minutes or so while I talk my shit on a Facebook Live video. Ask me anything. Who else is in? Ashton, there you are, buddy. Matt's here. Nathan Holtz joined in. That's right, dude. I just plugged the date. Nathan Holtz bringing me in to Boss's Comedy Club this Saturday night, August 18th. I got a lot of Sioux Falls friends and some fans up in that area, up in Brookings and Watertown. There's a real small town up there called Bruce, South Dakota, home of J Street Pub, where I've done a couple really good shows, man. A lot of fun. I love going to those small towns where it's like there's one or two bars in the entire town and they're just fucking starved for entertainment, because then you go in and everybody's there is appreciative and they're ready to have a good time. But he puts it on there. All right, at Boss Comedy is here. Right on. Nathan Holtz also helped me record my CD, The Bar Comic, a couple years ago. Josh Alton, that was April 20th, 2017. Yeah, April 20th, 2017, just a little over a year ago. Jennifer says, I wish I hadn't had school Sunday because I was right close to Mount Vernon, Missouri. Oh, that was a fun one. Last Friday night, the Mount Vernon Eagles Club. Eagles Clubs are some of my best audiences. They're blue collar. They like to play hard. They like to work hard, but most importantly, like to play hard. That's what I look for in these audiences that come out to the bars. You know, the clubs, places that they're not going to expect you to be politically correct. You know, places that they're not going to be easily offended. And in this day and age, everybody seems to have some sort of bug up their ass that needs to be removed. And that's what rolling into these places and doing live stand-up comedy is all about. Trisha says, one day I'm going to get drunk and call in. Day drunk's always the best drunk, but I'll tell you that nighttime hangover is always the worst hangover. Would you agree? I love getting day drunk. I love, like, you know, when I don't have nothing else going on, these days I don't have a whole lot of chance to get day drunk, man. It used to be the whole reason why I got into stand-up comedy was for the party, for the drinking, for the socializing, for the glory, the fame and fortune, and everything goes with it. But that doesn't necessarily you can't necessarily sustain yourself doing that, man. 10 years of doing that bullshit, I found myself weighing about 245 pounds. I was constantly cranky. You know, it's like the old cliche. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So now my day drink, coffee only. For the most part. There'll be some days, you know, I take a day off, I'm on vacation or whatever. It's not very often these days, man. A lot of people say that, you know, oh, you do stand-up comedy, your whole damn life is a vacation. It must be nice. Well, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is pretty nice. It is nice to be able to travel around the country and see all kinds of things that I normally wouldn't have otherwise gotten to see. It is kind of nice to meet all kinds of cool people that normally I would not have gotten the chance to meet otherwise. Jennifer says, if you don't stop drinking, then you don't get the hangover. Now, that's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. But those nighttime hangovers are the fucking worst, man. You know, it's like, yeah, I just want to keep the party going. Once I start drinking, that's my thing, man. It's like I could have just 2 or 3 and be right in that perfect zone to do comedy. But if I'm setting out to go party, once I start having a few, I don't want it to stop, man. I just want to keep the party going. And then the next thing you know, I've got my head rested on the end of a garbage can while I'm vomiting Jaeger bombs all over the fucking carpeted floor. Mark Floyd says, heading to Vegas in 2 days. Hell yeah. You recommend any good comedy clubs out there? The best one, in my opinion, I think, and this just take it from me, take it for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt, Brad Garrett's. Go to Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. I think that you're probably going to have the best experience at that particular one. Otherwise, that's it, man. Well, that's not, I haven't even got to the tail yet. This is Tall Tale Tuesday. I haven't even got to the tall tale yet. I've got a couple of my buddies from the Shenanigans Wild West show chiming in. Mike is here, Mad Mike Walker in the house. And I'm going to tell everybody about the time that I shot myself in the leg doing the Comedy Wild West show. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like I wound up crippled for the next 2 years because I blew my leg apart with the Colt 45 pistol at close range. We shoot blanks and blanks only. They make that clear each and every show so that way people know that it's safe and sound. The guns are just real. They're not real. They're real loud, but they don't shoot real bullets. And usually, I play the bad guy, which is my favorite part, the villain, the antagonist, the provocateur, whip the crowd up into a hateful frenzy. Not even really hateful. They love to hate you. You know, it's like you're likably hateable, if that makes any sense. That could just be the coffee talking. I don't know. But normally my favorite part to play is the fucking bad guy. So there we are running around. It's like the summer of 1997 or 1998. And I was fucking energetic wild man. Still am. I can still do it every once in a while. Now that I'm 43 goddamn years old, though, I need a break. Back in those days, we were talking about the other night when I was hanging out after the shows, we're having a couple of adult beverages. We were talking about, back in those days, you used to be a pussy if you wanted to take a day off, It wasn't just work 7 days a week straight. It was work 45, 50 days straight in a row. And if you were the first one to ask for the day off, you were the first one to get made fun of and called a pussy the whole rest of the summer. So that's how crazy we were back then, just to set this story up just a little bit, just to frame the entire situation for you. Well, one day in the show, you know, it's 90-degree weather. It's 100-degree weather. You're out there in the middle of the summer. You're sweating your ass off. And I like to go full regalia. Whenever I'm the bad guy, I like to put on every possible bad guy looking thing that I can distinguish my character. You know, the black pants, the black shirt, the dark vest, the riding cuffs, the gauntlets on your arms that are studded up. I've got my own customized individual gun belt that says jer-dog on the back, and there's studs all the way up the holsters on them. I like to throw on the boots, the spurs, every possible thing I can do to distinguish my look and make it as detailed as possible. Shit, I even roll around with the feather boa sometimes, like Hulk Hogan NWO style from WCW, if you remember those days. And you know, remember Hulk Hogan played the hero. He always came out to Jimi Hendrix music with the feather boa rocking. I like to do that when I'm the bad guy. Throw on one of those saloon girl feather boas and twirl it around a little bit. And, you know, it just adds to the overall character look, I think. But along with that, I love wearing the riding chaps. And a lot of guys don't because they're hot. You know, it's extra weight that you got to put on when you're running around out there. But for me, it just adds to the overall look. Plus your macho and your package sticks way out the front. But it was the one goddamn time. It was the one time, the one show that entire summer we're playing the bad guy. I decided not to wear the chaps because it was too damn hot and humid. I was already suffering swamp ass. I've already got chafing going up the inside of my thighs. It was not a comfortable day out of gunfight, and I'll tell you that much. We got someone joining in. Hang on the thing, and then I'll continue the story. Who be there?
This be Jeff Lanston.
Oh, hey, buddy.
How's it going, dude?
How's it going from Milwaukee?
It is beautiful out here. I'm just joining in, so I don't know what the topic is today.
Well, I'm telling you how about the time that I accidentally shot myself in the leg doing the Comedy Wild West show.
With a real bullet?
No, hell no, man. Hell no. That's the tall tale aspect of it. I really did shoot myself in the leg, but with a blank round. Now that's the thing, man. Smoke and flames and everything else still comes out of those fuckers, especially the blanks that are loaded. You know, we call them real hot, where they're stuffed to the tits with gunpowder, and then there's just a little bit of wadding in the end of them, or some of them are, you know, like nowadays they're crimped shut, but back in those times. I think we were using the crimp shut pre-made ones. We weren't using the ones that we had to make ourselves with the styrofoam wads. But when that stuff still peppers you, dude, it still flies. The stuff still flies out of the barrel of the gun. And it was the one fucking show where I decided not to wear the leather chaps. And because it's too hot, and I'm running down, I'm chasing the good guy around the set. I've got the gun cocked, and then it jams. It won't release when I pull the trigger in order to fire off the blank. And what you're supposed to do in that situation to keep it safe and sound, if you can't hand advance it, you got to very carefully put it down, like on a barrel or a crate or a rock somewhere where nobody can get to it until after the show, and you can safely take care of the situation, make sure that everything's working fine. But, you know, me being a dum-dum, I didn't do that. I just started running with it in my fucking hand. And when I brought it down like this, and it's basically point blank range to my thigh, the one show where I decided not to wear the leather chaps, it goes off right then and there. It blows a hole through my pants. I go straight to the ground. There's blood gushing down my leg. And then I'm laying there. I'm supposed to be dead as the bad guy anyway, you know, playing dead and cheesing it up and making a, you know, funny, goofy death scene. But I just go straight to the ground like I really was shot. And then the guy that comes out to play the sheriff, you know, he's supposed to bend over to check on you and make sure everything is okay. And I'm like, hurry it up, I'm fucking shot. And then he completely drops character. He's like, he shot everybody, he shot, you know. So they didn't do like the regular ending of the show. The other guys pick me up, and I'm sort of like limping off stage. They escort me, you know, behind the set, and the crowd that was standing around that was completely stunned silent gives you the round of applause like you're the football player that just sprained his ankle and had to be, you know, was helped up off the field. You know how they always applaud the injured football player walking off the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's that sympathy applause. You've gotten sympathy applause before.
I've gotten, yes, especially after sex. I get a lot of sympathy applause after sex.
For those of you who might not know, this is my buddy Jeff Lampton, who is on the line. He was actually one of the we did a lot of shows together, and you were one of the cameramen for the movie American Smartass.
Yeah, I did film a few scenes out there when we were out there on the road.
You were there that night that I peed in the bucket at the bar in Michigan. That was the scene you filmed.
Yeah, can I tell that story in full, or is that not something you want told?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's probably nothing in that story that the people watching don't already know about the jer-dog reputation, especially if they're watching this deep into the 420 report. We've already gone on 15 minutes and I've been yakking it up. Well, go ahead, give the brief version, because I've only got a few minutes left, and then I got to plug the show dates and get the fuck out of here.
All right, so I think we were in Hart, Michigan, or Shelbyville, Michigan, or Shelby, Michigan. We do the show, and when I come off stage, this dude hands me an ounce of pot, and he says, he said to me, he goes, you're one of the funniest dudes I ever saw, and I think we both assumed that he meant for me to give that to you, and that he was just giving it to me to give to you because you haven't taken the stage yet. So you get up on stage and you do about 2 hours where you proceed to get fucking hammered beyond all belief. But because you're jer-dog, you refuse to leave the stage because you're jer-dog and you got to piss, so you start pissing in the bucket.
Well, part of the problem, though, is they're encouraging that, and the audience is cheering you on, and they're clapping and cheering your name. And when they're doing that, it's not a whole lot of motivation to get off the stage. You know, if they were staring at me in complete disbelief and I didn't feel like I was entertaining them any longer, I wouldn't want to stand up there and waste anybody's. Like, even no matter how drunk I've ever gotten at a show, I've never done the. I don't want to say never. I learned very quickly not to do the rookie mistake of try to win them back by going on. Like, if you've gone 8 minutes and haven't got a laugh, just cut your losses, get the fuck out of there. I learned that at a very early age. And it doesn't matter how impaired I am at a show. Like, that's not going to go away.
You're still hilarious. As messed up as you were, as you're pissing in the bucket, you're just fucking just destroying it, you know? So after the show, you're way so messed up you can't even sell your own merch. So I'm selling the merch, packing up the equipment. We get everything into your car, and then you go to crash in my van for a little bit because you didn't want to drive because you're still so messed up. You puke everywhere. Then we run out, get you some Gatorade, come back, and then you're like, oh, man, we can't stay here. The cops will come. So follow me to the next rest stop. You know, stay behind me in case, you know, we get pulled over. So I get behind you. I'm in my van with has Texas license plates. I'm from Wisconsin. The license plates are from the person I bought the car for that never got registered. As soon as you pull onto the freeway, a cop pulls up to the stop sign to turn right, and I have to go behind you, and he gets behind me. So he pulls me over. I've got a shit ton of Vicodin and Xanax and that ounce of pot that dude gave me in the show. The cops and on top of it, he's like, okay, so you're from Wisconsin, you got an unregistered Texas vehicle, you don't have insurance. He's like, I have to legally impound your vehicle right now. And if they were going to impound the vehicle, then they would have had to search my car, and that would have put me away for about 5 years.
So how did you get out of that? I didn't realize all those details about that story. I just thought you had gotten pulled over, and then I was like, oh, well, he hasn't, you know, Jeff Lampton never drinks. He's like, he's going to be joining me here just in a few minutes. But how did you get out of that, man?
Well, as I'm pacing the side of the freeway in the pouring rain, the cop comes up to me, and he was extremely nice, and he found out that we were doing a show at his buddy's bar. So he goes, technically, I have to arrest you and impound your vehicle, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let you go ahead, and don't ever come back to this town again. I'll give you these free tickets. He wrote me out tickets. And then I finally caught up with you at the rest stop, and you were already passed out when I got there. And when I got back after that run, I was able to turn around and sell that ounce of pot to pay for all the tickets I got, except for like one or two of them, which I think I still have a warrant down for.
So that guy did give you a ticket. He just let you go.
Yeah, he gave me like 3 or 4, but he was incredibly nice. I would have much rather taken the tickets than go to jail and get my duffel bait search and deal with what I would have been dealing with.
You know, that's that comedian
thing.
privilege. Hashtag comedian privilege. You know, knock on wood, and I don't want to press my luck too much with this, but there's only a couple people watching right now anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and admit to all you guys, one of the things that I definitely appreciate about doing stand-up comedies for so many years is when I have a lot of run-ins with the cops, and when they find out that you're a comedian, it's like they completely change they'd stop treating you like a fucking criminal. And you know, a lot of times it's like they just don't want to end up as material in the act, it seems like. You know, it's almost like they feel like you have the same job. Listen, we both have to deal with drunks all the time. We both have late night jobs that are difficult to explain to our friends, on and on and on and on. But I probably have a run-in with a cop for one reason or another on a monthly basis. They tend to be some of the coolest audience members, especially sit in the front row, and they're willing to be interactive with you. They're a good foil. I've got a video about that on my Facebook page from a show I did a couple weeks ago in North Platte, Nebraska, where there's a cop in the front row. People love it, man. It's a great way to buck authority, but with somebody that's going to have a sense of humor about it. I don't know what your experience is, but that tends to be my experience. It's like the guys in Goodfellas. It's like being a gangster in Goodfellas, you know? You can go in the back door of the restaurant. You can pretty much eat whatever you want. You can drink whatever you want. The cops are going to fucking let you go because it's like they know the guy who knows the guy who booked you for their joint that night. You know, it's like being a legitimate gangster.
What do you do? Because I used to have the same situation, having a lot of run-ins, and most cops have always been super cool with me, but then there's that few handful that the first fucking words out of their mouth are, "Oh, you're a comedian? Well, tell me a joke." And it's a little different than when a regular person says it as opposed to a cop. You know, especially because cops usually have that gallows sense of humor, so you gotta think of something really dark and hope they don't like take the dead hooker in your trunk joke seriously and, you know, search your car.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
You know, that's a good question. I always say, you want to hear a clean one or a dirty one? And then I kind of gauge their sense of humor from there. Because if they say, give us the dirty, I mean, although I guess it really doesn't happen to me that much that a cop says, tell me a joke. Because usually they're like, oh yeah, where are you playing at? And then I tell them the place I'm going to and the name of the bar, and then, you know, they're more interested in that, and like, oh, aren't you nervous? And they ask me a lot of, where are you staying? You know, probably doing some of that standard cop interrogation shit, see if they can change you up in your answers or whatever. But you know, it is annoying when you get asked that, tell me a joke. But usually the standard answer I have is just hang out with me long enough. Let's have a real man-to-man conversation. I'll make you laugh at least a couple times. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I say, it's different when, you know, you're at a gas station and somebody you don't even know. But when a cop says it to you, it's like, oh shit, because if I bomb right now, I might be going to jail.
Right. All right, hey dude, I'm gonna do these live call-ins every day, but I gotta wrap up now. I got shit going on. Life's not all just a vacation when you're jer-dog. But we need to do some shows together, man. I've gotten some of your Facebook messages, and I like the idea of putting something together. I got some ideas for it, so get in touch with me on a Facebook message, and we'll make it happen, brother.
All right, cool. Great talking to you, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
Talking to you. Thank you for everything you've done for me through the years, dude.
All right, guys, that's it, man. That's the story. That's jer-dog's tall tale for today. Actually, you got two tall tales. You got the time I shot myself in the leg, and you got the time we escaped from the cops in Shelby, Michigan. So thanks to my co-star on this edition of the 420 Report, Jeff Lambton, the loose cannon of comedy himself. calling in. That was a lot of fun. And if you want to call in tomorrow, I'll be back for Hump Day Happy Hour, getting my day drunk on, cracking open a beer. I hope to see you here 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. And, of course, come see a show. Come see a show soon. Got a lot of them coming up here in the fall of 2018. I've only got like maybe a dozen dates left that are even possibly I'm able to book. So the schedule is crammed full. There's a lot going on. I'll tell you all about it in future editions of the 420 Report, as I usually do. But this Friday night, Green River, Wyoming, at the Eagles Club. This Saturday night, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, at Boss's Comedy Club, hashtag Boss Comedy. I'll put all the information in the video description above as soon as I get done here. And, of course, go to my website, barcomic.com, and get yourself a free copy of my CD, which was, in fact, recorded by Nathan Holtz. Well, the last one, the new one is, the one I'm giving away is Totally Baked. You can get Totally Baked, totally free. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. I'll see you tomorrow. Hump Day Happy Hour, 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. God bless America.